Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein.
He steps into Al-Khuld Hall with polished shoes and damp palms. He checks his watch, smooths his tie, nods to a colleague he half trusts. The marble smells like cigarette smoke and old varnish. He tells himself he'll be home for dinner. His son has an exam tomorrow. He takes his seat. By midnight, his name is on a list. The hall fills with Iraq's political elite. Baath party officials, ministers, regional bosses. Security is tighter than usual. Papers checked twice. 3 checkpoints between the street and the seats. Television cameras face the podium. That's new for an internal meeting. 6 days earlier, Ahmed Hassan al-Bakr resigns after 11 years in power. His deputy, Saddam Hussein, becomes president. Now in his first week, he convenes this emergency session. Saddam takes the podium in a dark suit. His voice is even, the microphones catch every breath. We have discovered a conspiracy against the party and the revolution. A ripple moves through the room. Then stillness. A senior official is called forward. Muhi Abd al-Hussein al-Mashhadi. He looks like he has not slept. He unfolds papers with trembling fingers and begins to read. First, his confession. Contacts with rival Baathists in Syria, secret meetings, a plot. Then the part that locks the doors from the inside. The names. Ghanim Abdul Jalil. A chair scrapes. A man in the third row looks up, startled. Plainclothes officers move. He tries to stand. Words catch in his throat. Hands take his elbows. The door closes behind him with a soft, final click. Muhammad Ayesh. 2 officers are already in the aisle. Another door closes. Adnan Hussein al-Hamdani. Another scrape. Another silence. Another empty chair. Between each name, the room holds its breath. Men stare at the floor, at their cufflinks, at nothing. Some clap, too quickly, too loudly, timing their palms to what they think survival sounds like. The sound is thin and frantic in the big room. A man on the aisle crosses himself without meaning to, then smooths his lapel to cover the gesture. Mashhadi's glass rattles against his teeth when he pauses to drink. He keeps reading. The cameras keep rolling. Saddam watches, sometimes leaning back, sometimes forward. He offers a cigarette to a shaken official. He nods to a guard to move faster. Every small gesture reads as control. Ghanim al-Jumaili. A man whispers a prayer. Another stares straight ahead. A third rises before his name is finished, as if standing early can change the script. By the time the list stops, more than 20 men have been removed. The doors stay shut. The remaining officials sit inside a ring of empty seats that feel like missing teeth. Saddam returns to the microphone. He speaks about vigilance and loyalty. The audience claps in long waves. One by one, officials line up to denounce the traitors and pledge fidelity. The phrases repeat. The cameras capture faces that try to look calm and hands that won't stop shaking. The meeting ends. The hall empties slowly. Outside, men light cigarettes and inhale like they are drowning. They keep their eyes ahead and get into their cars. Baghdad's afternoon heat presses down. Phones start ringing across the city and do not stop. Arrests follow within hours. Homes are searched. Relatives are questioned. At detention centres, doors clang shut and stay shut. Revolutionary tribunals convene. Proceedings are swift. Verdicts sound like they were written before the questions. Sentences are read. Blindfolds are tied. In prison yards with high walls and buzzing lights, rifles are issued. Some accounts from later interviews describe a final cruelty. Survivors from the hall are ordered to serve on firing squads, a tactic designed to bind them to the regime through shared blood. A few aim to end it quickly, a few aim at the ground. Guards watch. If you miss, someone behind you does not. The shots echo, then the echo dies. In late July and early August, at least 22 of those named are executed. Others receive long prison terms. Some simply disappear. The man who read the confession, Mashhadi, does not survive either. The penitent is useful until he isn't. The tape circulates almost immediately. Copies roll through party offices and military barracks. Officials are called into rooms and told to watch. The hall, the list, the removals, the applause. No narrator is needed. The message carries itself. This is what happens. This is who decides. The meeting claim: Saddam staged a televised purge at Al-Khuld Hall on July 22, 1979, featuring a confession and the reading of names. Verdict: true. There is video of the session. You can see Mashhadi read a confession. You can see men removed as their names are called. Iraqi media showed the footage to cadres in the weeks that followed. The conspiracy claim: a real Syrian-backed plot existed inside the Iraqi Baath party. Verdict: disputed. Some documents and later testimonies point to contacts between Iraqi officials and the Syrian Baath. Many historians argue the threat was exaggerated or manufactured to justify a purge Saddam already intended. What is not in dispute: the purge happened, and its effect was immediate. The executions claim dozens of officials named that day were executed within weeks. Verdict: true. Numbers vary. Sources commonly cite at least 22 executions in the immediate aftermath, with additional imprisonments and disappearances. Exact counts vary by archive, but the pattern is consistent across accounts. Forced firing squads. Claim: surviving officials were compelled to participate in executions. Verdict: plausible, supported by multiple accounts, not universally documented. Human rights reporting and memoirs describe officials made to serve on firing squads or tribunals, methods used to implicate and control. Not every participant confirms it, but enough independent testimonies exist to treat the tactic as real. Back to the story. In ministries, office plaques are replaced overnight. New names go on doors. Files transfer hands. In living rooms, families wait for news that doesn't come. Wives place their husbands' shoes by the door and don't move them. Children ask why the phone is always busy. Watch what the tape does to the country. In provincial halls, mid-level officials sit stiffly and take notes while the footage plays. In barracks, officers study the leader's expression more than the words. In party youth meetings, organisers pause the video on certain frames. This is how loyalty looks. This is how fear sounds. Within months, the same choreography repeats in smaller rooms. Accusation, removal, applause, pledge. In some places there is no camera, only the memory of one. The meaning of safety changes. Safety is not a law. Safety is not a rule. Safety is a favour. If you are safe today, it is because someone in a chair allowed it. That is the lesson everyone learns at once. A year later, Iraq invades Iran. Ministers align themselves with the decision. The people who would have argued are gone or silent. The war drags on for 8 years. The habit of watching the leader's face spreads like a reflex. Truth or hoax? Segment 5. The tape as a tool. Claim the Al-Khuld footage was used internally to intimidate and indoctrinate. Verdict: true. Surviving Baathists and later analysts recount compulsory screenings for party cadres, military officers and civil servants. The tape functioned as a training film in fear. What about the men in the room? The ones who clap too long, who speak too loudly, who keep their eyes on the floor when a colleague is taken. They walk out into the heat smaller than they were in the morning. They choose simpler greetings. They learn new habits. Never sit on the aisle. Never be the first to speak. Never be the last to clap. The man with polished shoes does not come home. His name is removed from a directory. His boy takes the exam without him. A new official sits in his chair by the end of the week. Careful with his words, careful with his smile. And the hall, it stays. The marble remembers the scrape of chairs. The microphones hum when powered on. The cameras, when they return, don't need a script. They already have one. Numbers and names. Claim: more than 60 officials were implicated. Around 20 to 22 were executed immediately. Verdict: true, with variance. Lists differ. The filmed session shows over 20 removals. Broader purges that summer implicate dozens more. Names like Ghanim Abdul Jalil, Muhammad Ayesh, and Adnan Hussein al-Hamdani appear across independent sources. Mashhadi's role as confessor and his later execution is likewise attested. So what exactly happens in Al-Khuld Hall? A leader announces a danger, a confession frames it, a list turns rumour into reality. A door closes softly. Applause fills the gaps. Pledges are recorded. And by the time the hall empties, the country outside is different. There's no need to explain theories when the mechanics are this visible. The tape shows a sequence designed to be copied: name, removal, applause, pledge. Repeat until nobody needs to see the tape to remember it. Final segment, the big picture. Claim: the Al-Khuld purge is the key early moment that cements Saddam Hussein's personal rule. Verdict: true. Within a week of taking office, Saddam demonstrates absolute control over the party elite, fusing security, television, and ritual. It is a blueprint he follows for decades. If you want the short version, it fits on a single card: a hall, a camera, a confession, a list, and a country that learns in one afternoon what survival requires. In a room full of decent people, how does this happen? Watch the footage, count the names, listen to the door. The answer is not hidden, it's recorded. The Al-Khuld Hall purge wasn't just history, it was a warning, and it's still playing. This has been Truth or Hoax. If you want more episodes where we verify the moment, test the claims, and follow the tape, subscribe and share.